Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. We want to welcome you here to It Is What It Is podcast with Brenda Ringe, JPAR, the Sears Group, and Powerhouse Property Group. Now, today I've got some awesome guests. We're going to be talking to a mentor and a mentee that has been part of JPAR for a while, and I'm really excited because I love them both, and they've got a lot of great things to say. But if you're ever looking for a place to land and say, hey, where can I get some help from? I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear some information. You might think, hey, this could be the place, JPAR. So I want you to welcome along with me. We're going to talk to Courtney. So we got Courtney Schaefer right here.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And then, of course, then we have Miss
Suzy Olean.
I just, y'all, I know Suzy, and this is the funny thing about this. I don't know why I go blank sometimes on names, but this is, yes, Miss Suzy. We were just talking about how when we first met, about 2 years ago now, maybe, right?
Almost exactly.
Almost 2 years ago, because
Yes.
it's coming up in February.
Uh-huh.
Oh, great. So, okay, guys, so here's the deal. I wanted to bring these two ladies on because I think that they really complement each other. I've heard, good things coming out of Courtney's mouth, and I've heard good things coming out of Suzy's mouth about each other. So I just thought that that'd be a really good thing. Yeah, I'm serious. So what I want to start with, number one, is the mentorship program that we have with JPAR. Okay,
Yes.
So we know that you've been doing this for a good bit since JPAR kind of started.
Yes, we were the OGs,
Yes,
you and I.
yes,
right?
that's right.
So, yes, we started and it has grown.
I don't know how
huge.
many we have now.
So I think we started off with 5,
5 of us.
and then I think we're up over 12.
Oh, wow.
So
I just see the pictures because in the office we have everybody's
Yes.
picture, and it's like, oh, they're finally filled. There's no more blank spots.
yes, and they're all over Houston.
Yes, and so that's the beauty of it. Because now you actually, I don't know where you live, girl.
I don't know where I live. No. So yes, so just a little bit about me as a mentor is, yes, I've been doing this for about 2.5 years. And I've been with a different brokerage before, a big brokerage before. And in switching, there was one question that was asked, and I'm sure you got the same question. It says, besides real estate, what else do you want to do? And when Chris asked me that, I'm like, what else do I want to do? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I want to do this, this, and this. And I never thought in a million years that it would be teaching, mentoring, coaching. I did not think that I had the, strength to be in front of people or even on a microphone.
Oh, I know. I've watched you grow.
Oh, yes.
I've watched you grow
Oh,
through all.
yes.
I can remember. No, I don't want to talk. No.
No.
And I love it.
Yes. And so now I can't, I'm not going to pass out with the microphone right here.
Yeah.
So, but
God.
do you know what really led to the confidence?
What?
Was the mentees. Because they were so appreciative
Yep.
that they have this guidance. And because they're all different people, they have different talents.
Yes.
But switching into the role of real estate really had to come with confidence.
Yep.
And so when they see the vulnerability in the mentors saying, hey, I struggled too, and this is where I struggled, but we can get you to the next point. We can get you past the plateau.
Right.
And where you're just, skyrocketing straight at it. So I think that was huge to get the question asked to me as, what else do you want to do? And it led to being a mentor.
Yeah.
So, and the mentees are fabulous always. But
I couldn't agree
really,
more. I think that we've
yes.
been very blessed with a lot that we've had that come through that just want to learn, and then and some that don't. But what
That's
we've had,
true. But they
I'm just
weed
being
themselves out, just like
Yeah.
freshman year in college, right? They weed themselves out. They know what they need, and the mentors can easily guide them.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go back to so I know when you got into real estate, you came in, you picked a mentor. So what was that thought process like for you when you found out, oh, we've got a mentorship program?
Well, it was pretty funny because Chris is, I met him when the freeze was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the Katy office, the
Yeah,
pipes burst.
post.
So, and I would have never known this. He was so calm and just, what's bringing you to JPAR? And I told him, and I said, my cousin worked for JPAR and JP, the original, in Dallas. I said, she goes, you have to go. Chris Sears is great. Everybody loves it in Houston. I said, okay, I'm just going to go there. I previously was at Sotheby's in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And coming on board, he goes, okay, you've got to pick a mentor, and they're going to help you through your first 5 transactions so that you get over the hump and can start doing everything on your own. And the first event I went to was the awards. So all of y'all were there.
That's when we met.
Yes. I met everybody.
Axe throwing.
And I'm like,
It's a true test of, which one's your mentor.
We were throwing those axes.
And
I
what was
remember
so great is I got to meet, I felt like, me getting in at that particular time, I totally got to meet everyone in the very beginning.
Yep.
And first of all, everybody's fantastic. And I don't know, I just ended up picking Courtney. I needed more details in my life because I'm doing it full time. I don't have a side gig. This is it. My pure hustle is real estate.
That's awesome. So kind of tell us like the first time in your meeting, what's the process like when you first met with her? What did you feel like? Were you scared? Were you like,
no, I wasn't
not scared of her, but scared is like, okay, am I gonna, how's this really gonna work for me?
Exactly. No, when we first met, we're very creative beings.
Right.
And so that was, for me, really, really fun because I could throw things, hey, Courtney, will you listen to this idea? What do you think? What do you think? And it worked out. And also I was always on Tech Tuesday in the beginning because I wanted to keep learning and learning. And I went through all the processes to be successful. You kind of, look, babies have to crawl, then walk before you can run. And that's what, real estate, you have to take the time to do some of that. I don't think you can start and just automatically, be a huge top selling agent. You have to really take some of those smaller baby steps. And Courtney helped me.
Well, she's good at that. I know from when I first met her too. It's like, but she can attest to this. It don't matter how many times you tell me something. It doesn't stick with me. I'm not as good of a student as a lot of you are, and I do not know why. I mean, you know this about me. I get things, I get it, but it's like, huh? Okay. And then I just go on. And I think that for me, that's one of the things that I always try to strive for. Each time I go to a class or I do whatever, it's like, okay, you just have to, follow this. If you just follow through, it works, so ask me how I've been in this for 17 years. I must have done some following through, but I don't know that I'm as good as a lot, I'm definitely not as good as her with how she teaches and what she does. And
thanks.
Well, but it's true. And that's such a blessing to the whole organization that we have right here because she is our go-to person. And so you were very lucky, like you said, because you're probably in the very beginning, the only person that really took the, our CRM system, which is called KV Core, and really took it and ran with that and said, because it interests you, because you dug into that, because you research and you do this. And, I'm like, well, just tell me.
She's being very sweet. I'm a nerd. Let's just, I love my spreadsheets.
A nerd.
I'm known for my spreadsheets. I'm known for geeking out on the CRM system. But it's one of the foundations, I would have to say, of real estate.
Yeah.
And it's the 80-20 rule, right? Who's gonna do their systems and processes.
Right.
And who's gonna put it in order and be detailed and on those little nerdy items.
Courtney.
Courtney.
And now Suzy.
It's funny because, yes, I did Courtney's boot camp in the beginning. My background was retail sales, and, when you do that, you're in people's faces. It was beauty, so it's very intimate. My strength was always the communication part. All of that I already had down.
Yeah.
It was the actual KV Core CRM. Putting, in the old days, it was just a client registry, and I'm beating my beauty advisors basically over the head. You have to use it. You have to use it. So to me, that analogy is what worked, and it worked in. I still couldn't improve like everybody else. I'll put a lot of people in my phone that I don't put into KV Core, but I know.
Ooh, hard gonna get you.
Yes, gotta do it.
I need to get a whip and put it in here.
Yes, exactly.
I need to get sound effects.
Yeah,
and get everybody going.
Yeah, have the sound effect person.
Right. So that's cool. So now you've been out of mentorship.
Yes.
And how long did it take you to get? Because like you said, when we first started here with it, we had just like 5 transactions that you had to go through. Kind of changed things up now because now someone that's brand new, absolutely, we try to put them through what we call that productivity lunch with Jessica.
Which is wonderful.
Yes, and so we've talked about that before on here. So now, but it's kind of like 6 transactions. So with you, it was 5 transactions. We really hope to try to get people to do this in everybody has their own time frame. How long did it take you? Do you remember?
It took me almost a whole year to get out of the mentor program to graduate. I always tell her I was the worst mentee, though.
No, I don't believe that for a minute.
Yes.
No, she was not.
No.
And the thing is, and I'm going to I have to compliment Suzy huge, is because she graduated with 3 transactions, but 2 of them were double enders.
Ah, okay. So
Her niche is she lists a property and she brings the buyer.
right.
And she gets both ends of the deal.
There you
she
go.
has only done 1 transaction that she only did one side.
Wow.
So she actually really puts the seller and the buyer such at ease and confidence
That they want that.
they want to use her and her alone.
Yes.
So and
That's a
then
gift.
It is a true gift.
Because I will tell you, sometimes I tell people, because not everybody can do that.
No.
And that's
Right. I get it now after some of my classes.
because, and the thing is I try to tell some of my, I want people to be successful. I want you to make the money. And if you brought this, but I want you to know, if I don't feel that somebody is confident in who they are or what they're doing, and like you said, it's not about real estate, it's about who you are and what you brought to the table to begin with. All our past experiences that we know that we have confidence in, that we walk in. All we're now is talking about a house. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. And because of that, I tell people you have to feel, I don't, there's some people I would not, it's like some mentees not encourage because there would be no way that I would feel that unless it's a lease.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I commend you, and that's really good because it does take. I've done plenty of them. I'm not going to say. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've done plenty of them. Had over the years that I've done it, but it takes a talent, really a gift to be able to do that and make each other feel comfortable enough to say, hey, this is this. I'm intermediary. I'm in between. I can only do this, and I can do this. But here's the reality of it. We can get through it. This is, and you. What? Go ahead. What you going to say?
Well, I was about to say that's not intermediary when you do a double ender.
Oh, okay.
You don't actually represent the buyer
That's right, because you're
just representing the
seller at that point, but you can still get both ends of that deal.
Yes, because you're writing the contract. And what that makes, the whole point of that is it's the confidence.
Yes.
And it's the confidence that says you're completely taken care of. But at any moment, I have a team of 400 agents with the Sears Group that can, represent you. But I just want you to know that this is a seller, and I know that the seller wants you to have this house. And so you should hear how she talks to these people. It is amazing. It is the confidence. It's the reassurance that the seller wants what's best for the buyer just as much the buyer wants the best for the seller. So it's she creates this common ground that is beautiful. And no, not everybody has that talent.
No, they don't. And, and that's we can see that. It just, from the time that you came here, like you said, people come and either get plugged in, and then people come and don't get plugged in, and then they wonder why. And that's okay. Some people don't get plugged in and can still be very successful and do their own thing and move on as long as, hey, we were a good place for them. JPAR was,
Right.
in the beginning. But I'm just happy that, you have been doing. I know there's other things that you've also taken place with it's the Houston Food Bank or
Furniture Bank,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's funny because, having Courtney as a mentor is outstanding.
Yes.
I mean, and really everybody at JPAR we're a family. I call us a cult. Because
good
it's
cult,
like
people,
Chris
a good cult.
right? It's like he's the Pied Piper and we're all there and we all always, I'm going to tell people, yeah, you need to come to our brokerage. But one of the other things is, with his Coffee with Chris every morning, he has certain passions. And just one day he said it in passing about the Houston Furniture Bank. And I just took that. I have no kids, so kids not having beds to me is a huge thing. And I made it my personal little passion and my volunteer charity group of choice. And so now I had promised his good friend Oli Muhammad, I said, Oli, when I get a really big house, I said, I'm going to clear it and I want to do the whole thing, stage it with the Houston Furniture Bank. So I called him last week and we're going to do that. I have a 6,000 square foot house just listed that I'm clearing everything out at the estate sale, and then I'm going to redo it with all furniture from the Furniture Bank. And hopefully, I know they're listening. I want to be on one of the shows, and I'm going to make some phone calls because it would be fun to do it at the house.
Oh, yeah.
So people could see it. The Furniture Bank has brand new, fantastic furniture that so many companies donate, and it isn't all your used furniture. So it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I love that. And, I have to say, I know that so many people like how Chris asked you, like in the beginning, what else do you like? What else do you want to do? And sometimes we don't even know until we start doing it. And just like you said, it just touched you and then boom, you're like, now I want to be an advocate for this. I want to help. I want to do what I got to do. And that's what I love about our organization. I feel like so many people are given an opportunity here by Chris and Jen to be able to do things that, we might not have otherwise thought of,
Yes, and we have to keep up with the rat race, right? We have to pay our bills. We have to do what we need to do to take care of our family.
Yeah.
But also, where's our passion? Where is our heart? Where is our thoughts going to after we get that paycheck? How are we giving back to the community? That's the number one question that's asked in our brokerage.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you walk into the office and you're like, I need some help. You're swarmed by agents. What do you need? What can we help you? Can we do this? And then if at any given moment that somebody needs something, it's not about real estate.
Right.
Do you find that? Like, it's not about real estate. It's about, I don't have the confidence for this, or I can't do a video because everybody's doing reels now, or where do I go for this? Or how do I expand my mind or get some knowledge or do this? It's those type of questions, and those are vulnerable questions.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would say that you can ask that to anyone in this brokerage, and they are going to jump on that. And I think that is really where you can really bring your passion out with your career.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I what else do you have to say about the program? What would you recommend to anybody that is coming in and considering real estate?
When so we said that it was about 2 years ago that we all met at those awards. And my license is up at the end of this month, so it is exactly 2 years. And one of the things that I realized in going to these classes and seeing all these newbies who are, hustling to go get their license, I'm not going to say I'm old, but I'm older than a lot of people. And there used to be a tennis player that his motto was, image is everything. I truly believe that in this business, you still have to portray yourself, and your image needs to be, you are the pro. You know more than they do. I learned that from my dad a long time ago. He was a Levi rep, and I had a huge career in the beauty industry for almost 3 decades. And I always remember people would want to go, what's this ingredient, or what is that? You know what? Does the ingredient really matter if you're going to get your end result, right? And so that was something to me that was so important. And I see them all. You got to keep the image. You got to be confident, and you know more than they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Even people who've sold houses before, they forget if it was a long time ago.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I forget a lot of things these days. Well, I really love hearing that, and I think that's definitely something good to share with new people, because there are a lot of people. I don't even know how many people are still every day getting into this industry. But I think a lot of people think that it's just really easy.
Right.
Well, it was easy for about a year, and then last fourth quarter happened. So no, and there's one thing that I do want to point out, and it's a slogan that Suzy has, and it's about getting your ducks in a row. And she has an entire business over getting your ducks in a row, and in any industry that you're in, you have to get your ducks in a row. If I'm the nerd, I had to have all my processes in place before I could even speak to somebody about real estate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Suzy, she doesn't need a thing. She can go and talk to anyone, anywhere about anything. So
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Two different personality types, but at the same time, we still have the inner, we need to get our ducks in a row.
Right. Yeah.
So we definitely have that, don't you think?
Yeah, and I know it's corny. I mean, it's a corny saying, but people say it all the time.
It's not corny.
And I just relate it to what I do, getting all your ducks in a row. And also setting yourself apart from other people. I feel like that you need to have a niche. You know why? Because there are 10,000 people a year, whatever it is, that are going to be in real estate and that they think they're going to make the millions and millions of dollars. You have to have a niche. You have to find it. Mine's getting everybody's ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And keeping it kind of simple.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Everybody, I really appreciate y'all just tuning in today. We will be having on separate interviews a little bit more into depth with Suzy, so you can kind of hear her story. And then, of course, our wonderful Courtney into a whole nother thing. Not only is she a mentor, she's a coach. So what does that mean? You're asking, well, coach, mentor, what's the difference? Well, she'll be able to explain that. We'll dig a little bit deeper into that as well. But once again, be blessed. So grateful that you were here with us. And again, it's Brenda Ringe with a JPAR, the Sears Group, Powerhouse Property Group. And hey, make it a great one.